Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Permission to Live in the End. I wanted to stop by and share an experience with you that I had yesterday, or an interaction with someone on Facebook, that I said, oh, I got to share this on the channel because, certain experiences happen and you couldn't have written it better in a book. And I always start with a Neville Goddard quote. And today's quote is, "You can't commit yourself to what you do not love. So the secret of self-commission is faith plus love." You can't commit yourself to what you do not love. So yesterday in the group that I'm in, a gentleman asked a question. Very good question. Very good question. Because if he's asking this question, this type of question along these lines, then someone else is asking as well. Not this particular question with his particular details, but along the same lines based on your own personal experiences. What's going on with you? So he asked, what does Goddard say about the reasons for a wish not fulfilled? A wish not fulfilled? There's no such thing. What? Okay, I've been imagining getting hired with a certain employer for months, truly feeling it, and everything was in line. But now that COVID is here, they've rescinded the offer. I'm questioning whether or not I truly caught the feeling, or maybe I didn't live from it enough. Or am I possibly the victim of a worldwide timeline jump for more powerful than my desire? Or excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me read that one more time. Or am I possibly the victim of a worldwide timeline jump more powerful than my desire? Your thoughts? And I thought this was an excellent question. And I'm so pleased that I have had this type of experience before. Not, the specific details of what he's talking about, but, questioning what is going on with this. What is going on with the fact that I believe that I'm feeling it real. I believe that I believe what I'm saying, that type of thing, in order to know how to respond to this gentleman, on top of paying special attention to what Neville talks about. This is exactly the type of thing that Neville talks about. And when he asked this question, my first thought was along the lines of what Abdullah said to Neville when Neville was questioning after saying he wanted to go to Barbados to Abdullah. And Abdullah said, what do you mean you want to go to our Barbados? You're already in Barbados. And even though certain things started to happen and arise toward the day that Neville wanted to leave or was going to leave, or no, stuff started happening around Neville's believing that he wasn't going to be going to Barbados because the timing was starting to, the time was coming upon his ability to leave in terms of travel back then. And he starts questioning, and he goes back to Abdullah, and he's like, basically I'll say panicking a little bit, because it's like, I put this desire out. I did what you told me to do, Abdullah, or so he thought he did. And nothing's happening. What's going on with this? So anyway, when this gentleman shared this question, I immediately jumped into my own process and Neville's process of what I would do in this case, which is you've already, because he said, I've been imagining getting hired with a certain employer for months. I said, you've already been working for the employer for months. You've already been working for the employer for months. Imagine, what exactly is it that you love about the things you've been doing already at this job? You've already been working for the employer for months. What has it afforded you? what is it that you absolutely love about what you've been doing for the past couple of months in this role that you've been in already? Because this is what Neville is instructing us to do, is that for whatever we are imagining, and because our imagination is boundless, Neville is saying to put yourself in a state as if you have already fulfilled the desire. So you are thinking from the state of being and not upon the state of being. So if you're thinking from inside the state of being, then you already understand what's going on inside of the state, and you're able to speak from that place. So I was asking this gentleman, speak to me from the place or the state that you are already within the fact that you've been working for the employer for months. And something incredible started to occur to help this gentleman to understand why, and I'm jumping ahead of myself. So something incredible started to happen. As the gentleman began to process what I was saying and what other people were saying, because a number of people had comments on his thread, he started to realize that he didn't want to imagine himself in this particular job that he had been thinking about. He didn't want to imagine himself doing it, because it turns out that he didn't really love it. He didn't really love his perceived desire. He, what did he say? There was something he said in particular, and I want to go to it, that I said, oh my goodness, this is absolutely remarkable, and exactly what Neville is talking about. He said, you know, as I sit here thinking about it, I wasn't excited about the work. I was excited about the schedule. That's what excites me the most, weekdays and no holidays. And I said, oh my goodness, what I loved about him saying that is that Neville just finished saying, you can't commit yourself to what you do not love. You cannot commit yourself to what you do not love. So there perhaps is a lot of times, no, there is a lot of times where we'll throw out an initial thought about something we're imagining that we love, or we thought we wanted, put it that way. We thought we wanted. And because that thing is not occurring, you and I may be perceiving that nothing's happening at all, but something is happening. What's happening, because you can't commit to staying in a state of being regarding this thing that you first threw out, is that ultimately you're understanding with what I'll call a hairline fracture of an understanding that there's something about what you're saying or imagining that you do not love. And this is why you cannot remain committed to staying inside of the state of being as if it's already been fulfilled. If you're unable to do that, there is something within what you desire that you do not love, that you're not consciously aware of yet. And this happened with me when I have a video or two on here where I'm talking about a long time ago working for one of the largest healthcare systems in my area, and jumping from job to job and coming to a place of understanding or knowing that I needed to stop and pay attention to what I was doing, because I didn't want to be jumping from job to job. I wanted to finally understand what I actually wanted versus what I had been compromising all this time, or all, the time during that time frame. And when I sat down with myself and paid close attention, and I really allowed myself to give myself permission to actually desire, actually agree and accept what I was desiring versus compromising it, it turned out that at that time I wanted to work part-time making full-time money. And I really needed to sit with myself and spend time in order to get to that understanding. Now, it didn't take very long for me on that particular day. I believe I was prepared to receive and to process and to weed out the difference between just coming up with something and paying attention to my body signals as to whether that was what I actually wanted versus compromising. I believe I was prepared for that. But I just wanted to stop by and help somebody to understand that if you're unable to remain committed, and I said all that I just said in terms of my experience, I'm sorry. I said all of that to say that I was able to remain committed to the state of being of working part-time, making full-time money because it was something that I absolutely loved on the inside. I absolutely loved it. When I heard part-time making full-time money, my whole being lit up with an understanding that that was my truth at that time. And people have asked me, how long did it take for you to achieve working part-time, making full-time money? And my answer is, it doesn't matter. First of all, how long it takes me is different than how long it'll take you. But secondly, it wouldn't have mattered how long it took, because time is no longer a factor when you are within the state already. You're already in the state of being of your desire already being fulfilled. So it is already happening on the inside of you. So there is no question about how long something's going to take. As a matter of fact, I said in another video, if you are asking the question about how long something's going to take, you are not already within the state of being as if your desire has already been fulfilled. So I just wanted to stop by and remind someone today that you can't commit yourself to what you do not love. So if you're unable to commit to remaining in the state of being as if your desire has already been fulfilled, then stop and take a look and go into your body's system, an inherent ability to help you to know by way of, am I lit up on the inside when I say this imagined thing? Am I lit up on the inside with the truth of it, with the love of it? Because if you're not, then there's a little bit of work to do to go back and find out exactly what is it that you do love. Thank you so much for stopping by. I welcome your comments, your questions, your experiences. I thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, share this video with somebody you love, and I will see you on the next video.